Imagine a horror sequel so daring it pretends most of the franchise's history never happened, leaping straight from the 1978 original to a fresh take, and raking in nearly $260 million at the box office. That's the bold bet that defined Halloween Kills 2021, a gamble that could have alienated die-hard fans, but ultimately paid dividends. It felt like David Gordon Green and his team were unstoppable. But then came the chilling chant from the shadows. Evil dies tonight. With a roster of familiar faces, a hospitalized Laurie Strode, sound familiar? And Michael Myers miraculously surviving a blaze from 2018. This is the wild story behind what unfolded with Halloween Kills. Initially, the plan was to film Halloween Kills right after the 2018 reboot. Check out our deep dive into that here. https://joblo.com/Halloween2018, using a concept brainstormed by writer Jeff Fradley. What started as a two-movie idea morphed into a trilogy vision, packed with enough plot twists and scares to fill 3 films. Yet, writer Danny McBride wisely urged caution. They needed to test the waters first. They wanted feedback on what clicked in the 2018 film and, crucially, to ensure audiences embraced it. After that one became a smash hit, the green light flashed for the second installment in their proposed trilogy. Scott Teems, already crafting scripts for Blumhouse Productions, joined McBride and director David Gordon Green to flesh out the story from their initial pitch, with plenty of rewrites along the way. Stars Jamie Lee Curtis, Judy Greer and Andy Matichak were confirmed for their returning roles in a July 2019 announcement video, which also unveiled the titles and release dates for both sequels, Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. At first, filming both Kills and Ends back-to-back seemed like the smart move. Wait, isn't that déjà vu from the earlier plans? But the intense shooting schedule led to scaling back to just the first sequel. Originally set in Charleston, South Carolina, like the 2018 film, production relocated to North Carolina because tax breaks dried up in the original state. Plus, the presence of Screen Gem Studios there offered massive sound stages primed for action. They reconstructed the Myers house on set and reused the hospital set from the Swamp Thing TV series, making the most of the resources. As a quick side note for newcomers to filmmaking lingo, canon refers to the official storyline or history of a franchise. Here, the team effectively rebooted by ignoring most sequels to keep the focus pure and tied to the original film. Drawing inspiration from the classic Halloween 2, the story picks up on the same night as the 2018 events, bringing back a host of characters. One unexpected comeback was Will Patton as Hawkins, who appeared to meet a grisly end in the 2018 film at the hands of Dr. Sartain. But Green cherished working with Patton, and fans loved the character, so he resurrected him. Though, like Laurie, Hawkins spends much of his screen time confined to a bed. The creative team didn't stop at 2018 cast members. They reached back to the 1978 original for nostalgic nods. Paul Rudd was invited to reprise his role as Tommy Doyle from Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. For more on that chaotic sequel, visit https://joblo.com/Halloween-6-1995, but scheduling conflicts with Ghostbusters forced him to pass. Just think, his return could have stirred up endless debates about franchise continuity, especially since the reboot wiped the slate clean on everything except the original. Instead, Anthony Michael Hall stepped in after an engaging chat with Green. And since they were reviving Tommy Doyle, why not his sister Lindsay Wallace too? Fortunately, original actress Kyle Richards was game for the comeback. She'd stepped away from acting, but remained a TV fixture on The Real Housewives of LA. Nancy Stevens, who played Nurse Marion alongside Dr. Loomis in the original's opening, also returned. Charles Cypher's Lee Brackett got a short but impactful cameo, though with limited screen time compared to others. A standout revival was Dr. Samuel Loomis, with Donald Pleasance having passed away long ago. Tom Jones Jr., who bore a strong resemblance and worked as the head carpenter on set, took over the role. His voice was dubbed by Colin Mahan for authenticity. James Jude Courtney returned as the Shape, while Aaron Armstrong handled stunts for flashback sequences. Nick Castle, the original Michael Myers, appeared in a brief bathroom scene, hailed as a good luck charm by producer Ryan Turek. But here's where it gets controversial. The film includes a flashback to the 1978 police pursuit of Michael, right after the original movie. The script initially had more 1978 scenes, even featuring a young Laurie Strode prominently. Luckily, the team realized Jamie Lee Curtis was irreplaceable as the adult Laurie, and budget constraints ruled out de-aging technology. They also scrapped details like young Hawkins accidentally shooting his partner while drunk over a cheating girlfriend. Still, several 1978 scenes made the cut, requiring the construction of the original Myers house in a warehouse. 6 versions in total. For scenes in 2018, the house was redesigned to fit the modern decade. To bring back the iconic Myers mask, effects maestro Christopher Nelson referenced the original Don Post design for a near-perfect replica. The current-day mask showed fire damage but mirrored the 2018 look. Only 2 masks were used, one for main shots and one for fiery sequences. Surprisingly, Michael escaped the 2018 Inferno mostly unharmed, slaughtering firefighters en route. Since filming moved locations, they torched a new house, with real local firefighters playing the victims, excitedly embracing their grisly fates at the hands of the Shape. "Evil dies tonight" became the rallying cry for an enraged mob hunting Michael, aiming to end his terror. This element divides fans. Some see it as a fresh exploration of community impact and mob psychology, while others feel it veers off track from the core horror. Green emphasized how Michael's spree affects the town, tapping into real-world themes of collective frenzy. For beginners wondering about this, think of it like how a viral event can spark widespread outrage or panic in society. Here, it's channeled into a vengeful group dynamic that adds social commentary to the scares. The Bar broadcast recaps Michael's 1978 victims, including Annie, Linda, and Bob. Hilariously, they couldn't find John Michael Graham's, the actor who played Bob, high school photo. So they used one of Bob Odenkirk's that looked eerily similar. With Odenkirk's approval via his manager, it became an oddball cameo. The silver shamrock masks reappeared, worn by kids and repurposed in one of Michael's artistic kills. For the car attack scene, they split filming into 2 units, one for front seat actors, one for the back, speeding up production. Though it was a logistical challenge, Kyle Richards broke her nose during it, but hid it to avoid being swapped out for a stunt double. When Laurie undergoes surgery, real medical pros performed a fake procedure on Jamie Lee Curtis's prosthetic wound. The filmmakers leaned on their expertise to shape the scene realistically, with Green adopting a documentary-style approach for authenticity. As a helpful tip for aspiring filmmakers or horror buffs, this shows how blending real professionals can elevate on-screen believability. The climactic mob assault on Michael, where he fights back, was half shot on Wilmington streets and half on a soundstage, using a turntable for performers to create a surreal, spinning chaos. Nighttime shoots proved exhausting, even causing director of photography Michael Simmons to suffer vertigo and require a wheelchair for a week. Camera operator Paul Daly filled in seamlessly to keep the visual style consistent. Universal requested an extended cut with extra gore, including an alternate ending where Laurie grabs a knife and ventures out on a mission. But Green favored the theatrical version's conclusion. Laurie in her hospital room as Michael glares at the camera after Karen's death. The extended edition got the original ending instead. John Carpenter, with his son Cody and Daniel Davies, composed the score. echoing 2018's tunes, but evolving them for a unique feel. Originally slated for October 16th, 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic delayed it by a year. It also launched simultaneously in theaters and on Peacock. Released October 15th, 2021, it opened to nearly $50 million domestically and grossed $133 million worldwide, less than its predecessor. Was it the streaming debut or poor buzz? Critics hammered it with a 38% Rotten Tomatoes score, far below 2018's 79%. Yet, momentum built for Halloween Ends, with fans hoping to sidestep Kills' flaws, like the Evil Dies Tonight subplot. And as we know, Ends was utterly scandal-free. Right? Regardless, Kills still charms me with its high kill count and gleeful bloodshed. Plus, nothing beats that Carpenter score hitting just right. For more episodes from this series, check out the links below. Dive deeper into our Joe Blow horror originals on YouTube, https://channelucdkurEtvsfzl, and hit subscribe for more spooky breakdowns. What do you think? Was reviving the franchise by ignoring those sequels a stroke of genius, or a risky oversight that divided fans? And regarding that angry mob storyline, did it add depth to Michael's terror, or was it a distracting detour that diluted the scares? Share your opinions in the comments. Do you agree that Kills' box office success masked its critical flaws? Or do you see it as an underrated bloody romp? Let's debate. This is just one perspective, and I'm curious to hear yours.